Good day, welcome to News
You're welcome
Update
to
on
PTV
FIB
News. My
TV.
name
My
is
name is Peace Oladipo. Despite holding power at the center and across 23 states, the ruling All Progressive Congress is battling widening cracks within its ranks as bitter factions struggles, allegations of impulsion, and unresolved leadership tussle, threatening to undermine its cohesion ahead of the 2027 general elections. From Lagos to Rivers, Delta to Bayelsa, Benue and Akwa Ibom, multiple states character chapter of the APC are in turmoil, forcing the party's national leadership to step in amid fear that the internal wrangling could jeopardize its political dominance. The APC has been grappling with internal division that threaten its stability ahead of the 2027 general election. This comes despite recent high-profile defection of influential positions, figures including governors, into the ruling parties. Fresh concerns are emerging over the possible defection of long-time APC members, particularly loyalists from the defunct All Nigerian People's Party and Congress for Progressive Change amid counting power tussle in key states and pressure from a re-energized opposition coalition led by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. The recent resignation of Abdullahi Ganduje as national chairman has only compounded the party's leadership crisis, especially in Kano, where political tension continued to rise. Meanwhile, factional battles have crippled APC's chapter in states like Benue, Rivers, and Lagos. There is also increasing speculation about a brewing rift between President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima, despite public attempts to present a united front, including the recent appointment of Prof. Nentawe Iwatda as the new APC national chairman. But APC's director of publicity, Bala Ibrahim, stated that the ruling party was not experiencing crisis, adding that the situation in some states are normal and not beyond the party's capacity to resolve through internal reconciliation. Ibrahim added that the ruling party had strong machinery of party stalwarts that resolves internal party crisis. There are indications that the People's Democratic Party (PDP) is making frantic efforts to lure President Goodluck Jonathan to its fold for the party's presidential ticket in 2027. The Guardian gathered that a strong lobby of high-placed stalwarts has been mandated to convince Jonathan with the offer of an automatic ticket due to the reservations about Mr. Peter Obi's purported plan to return to the PDP. This is just as former Minister of Information and National Orientation, Prof. Jerry Garner, noted that even though the 2023 presidential candidate of Labour Party, Obi, is a good candidate, the PDP has a better candidate. Ghana, during a national television program on Arise Television Primetime, disclosed that Obi would easily win the presidency if he returns to the PDP, explaining that the party's structure in the northern part of the country would guarantee his ballot numbers. However, some chieftain of the party who are interested in contesting the 2031 presidential poll announced their preference for the former President Jonathan, saying that the constitutional limit of two maximum terms limit the former president to just one term of 4 years. A member of the PDP Board of Trustees who did not want his name in print confided in The Guardian that despite Obi's assurances of serving for just one term if elected as president, the feeling among the majority of party leaders are that Jonathan will not subject the party or Nigerians to second guessing. It was gathered that discussions about the feasibility of bringing back former President Jonathan formed part of the engagement among some party stalwarts in the Gambia, alongside issues on financing the party and funding the forthcoming presidential contest. Special Assistant to Governor Bala Mohammed, Lawal Muazu, had last Thursday revealed that his principal, Governor Mohammed, Senator Abdul Ningi, and Dr. Jonathan was part of a delegation to a summit focused on bilateral relations and promoting democratic governance in Gambia. Muazu explained in a post on his Facebook page that the visit was also seen as part of the ongoing effort to strengthen the role of African statesmen in conflict resolution, good governance, and electoral support mission within the continent, pledging to throw the weight behind his former president. The Bauchi state governor, who is also the chairman of PDP Forum, stated that he would support the ex-president. Former national chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council, Peter Obi, has condemned the federal government's decision to earmark a staggering 712 billion naira for the renovation of the Muritala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos, calling it a glaring example of misplaced priority at a time Nigeria is sinking deeper into debt and economic hardship. The African Democratic Congress (ADC) toed the same path, describing the expenditure as wasteful and reckless in a time of widespread economic hardship. But the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, defended the cost, saying the Bureau for Public Procurements, which scrutinized and fixed the final cost, did an excellent job. Nigeria is grappling with one of the worst debt crises in history, with public debt surging to over 121 trillion as of mid-2025. In 2024 alone, the country spent more than 96% of its revenue servicing existing debt, leaving little room for capital investment in productive sectors like agriculture, education, and healthcare. The cost of borrowing has spiked, and external lenders are becoming more cautious, yet government expenditure continues to balloon, often on projects with questionable values. Ame warned that Nigeria's public health sector is on life support, with federal hospitals running without essential drugs, doctors, or nurses, but the government is spending 15 trillion naira on the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway and 39 billion naira spent on the National Coverage Center, which remains largely inaccessible to the public. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC questioned the rotational and legality of the project, noting that the airport underwent a major upgrade just 3 years ago. According to the statement, the project is another brazen act of fiscal recklessness and official insensitivity. It further confirms how far this all-progressive Congress government is removed from the reality of suffering people of Nigeria. The party queried whether such a monumental sum has received the necessary approval from the National Assembly and raised concerns over the absence of a public breakdown of cost or any transparent procurement process. ADC pointed out the MMIA already had a new international terminal commissioned in March 2022 by then President Muhammadu Buhari. It suggested that the 712 billion naira could be spent on transformative projects that directly impact citizens, including building teaching hospitals, providing free basic education in multiple regions, implementing rural electrification, or rehabilitating vital federal road infrastructure. The Lagos state government yesterday identified about 176 illegal estate developments in the Eti-Osa, Ajay-Beju-Lekki, and Epe axis of the state and has given the owners a 21-day ultimatum to process their layout approval. According to the government, the estates were deemed illegal due to the failure of the owners to obtain layout approvals from the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development and were listed in a document published by the ministry today. The Permanent Secretary Office of the Physical Planning, Oluwole Sotire, said the illegal estates compromise this sustainable development ethos and the themes agenda of the government by operating without approval. Some of the identified illegal estates include Adron Homes, Elerambe, Aino Gold Estate, Okunfolu, Diamond Estate, Ekwetu, Prime Water View Gardens, Ikate Elegushi, and Royal View Estate, Ikota, amongst others. The government has therefore given the owners of these estates a 21-day order to submit the necessary documents to his office in the Ministry of Planning and Urban Development Secretariat, Alausa Ikeja, to process their layout approvals. He stated that this exercise was a routine function of the ministry in line with its mandates to regulate the development of public and private estates in Lagos State by processing and granting layout approval to foster a functional, organized, orderly, and resilient smart city as encapsulated in the themes agenda of the Lagos State government. Soture also emphasized the importance of all developers and real estate practitioners registering with the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, which is responsible for regulating, coordinating, and monitoring real estate practitioners in the sector. That's all on the news. My name is Peace Oladipo. Thank you.